What's up everyone, hope y'all are doing well. In today's episode on the 240SX, we're going to focus on getting the exhaust fabricated. My buddy John came back down.
Hey Cal.
Appreciate it. If you haven't followed him on Instagram, I put his handle in the comment section below. Super talented metal fabricator, and he's got an awesome 240SX tribute build that he's working on right now, so be sure to check that out. But before we begin, I wanted to give you guys just a sneak peek on what we're going to be putting in this car. John went ahead and fabricated this up north just to try to cut down on time today. I have always wanted to put like a blast pipe configuration on this, but what we're going to be doing is completely custom. So this looks fantastic. Dillard welds. So I'll give you guys a closer look at all of this a little bit later, but we got the car on the lift right now, so let's get to it. If you haven't checked out the last episode, I put the link in the description box below. John came down and fabricated all of the charge piping for the car, and it looks fantastic. We also mounted the intercooler and took care of a bunch of other things. We didn't quite get finished, so towards the end of this video, we'll be wrapping all of that stuff up. But I did want to give a quick shout out to Norm at JRP Online for introducing us to Vibrant Performance, and Vibrant offered to sponsor all of the materials that we're going to need for the exhaust and to finish everything up front, so huge thanks to them. You can check out everything that JRP Online and Vibrant Performance has to offer via the links in the description box below. Another special thanks to Roberts Oxygen for providing all of the gas and the equipment we're going to need to get this all taken care of. Their website is also in the description box below. The rear of the exhaust is going to come out at a slight incline right here. So the center pipe, it's going to be 3-inch piping, stainless steel. All the way back here, we have a single resonator that's going to go in. This tow hook I'm going to have to get out, but when it's all said and done, it should look something like that. They'll stick out from the car just a little bit. Nothing too aggressive, but it's going to look really nice.
So this is the Vibrant Ultra Quiet Resonator. This guy right here. Nice and compact, very small. It definitely takes a lot of the noise away from the exhaust. We want to make this thing not quiet, but we don't want to make it super loud. And as you can tell, it's going to do that.
We do scientific testing here.
And then we'll just kind of angle it like that.
So by putting it right here, this is where it can make it like a little deeper. For those of you new to the series, when I first got this car, I underwent a bunch of direction changes as I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it. I ended up settling on the idea of doing a Restomod, so restoring the car but modifying, a lot of key aspects with newer parts, higher performance parts, just to make an awesome street car at the end of the day. I didn't want an all-out race car. I didn't want to build a drift car or anything like that. So we have a built RB25 going in. It's going to be really awesome, but we wanted to make a nice car as well. I've laid sound deadening all throughout the interior. I have a full video on that if you want to check it out. Once we get through with this portion of the build, get the car running and get it back on the road, I'll be doing some more interior work. We'll start tackling the cosmetics at some point, and of course, I'll keep you guys updated.
So what we're doing here is we're going to go ahead and mock up the next flange after the downpipe. We're going to go ahead and tighten it down as tight as we can go, and this will give us our starting point to start building the exhaust back. Kyle ran down to the local O'Reilly, got us some grade 8 bolts here to go in here. And they're the same exact diameter of the whole opening of the flange. I like that particularly because the flange can't move around or walk around when you go to start tacking stuff on. It's set in its place, and it'll be nice and straight when we go to put it back on and off. I did have to add a small section of tubing here on the downpipe. It was a little further back than what I thought it was when we initially did it on the last video. So I just added about 90 millimeters to it. 90 mils to some people doesn't sound like a lot. It's a little bit, it's about 3 inches, but I did that just so we have more clearances here on top of the flange itself and not run into any vibration here. But now we're good. We have all the clearances that we needed. I've marked at the top of the downpipe where the O2 sensor is going to go via Haltech. Gave me the information on that, and that air intake temperature sensor that we got to put in there as well too. But now we're ready to start building an exhaust once Kyle finishes up cutting off this hanger in the back. and stay tuned.
I ended up just cutting the tow hook off because to actually remove it properly, you need to remove the bumper because it's bolted in 2 spots. One right there and one up way inside the bumper. I'm not going to be using this bumper anyway. It's got a few gnarly cracks in it, so I actually have a full replacement bumper to swap this one with later on when we do the cosmetics. So at least the tow hook is out of the way now and we can fit these blast pipes.
So we got our flange, our second flange on to start mocking this up. This is our ultra quiet. I've taken a 45 degree bend and I've cut it in half to give us 22 degrees or 22.5 degrees. So we're going to kind of make like an S bend, I guess you would want to say, an offset.
So it's going to start here, snake over, and then come back.
Yeah, and then it's going to come back over and straighten out again. So we're going to get this over in here. We'll get it farther away than that from that drive shaft. Ten inches. Once Kyle returns from O'Reilly, we're going to get a tubing expander to just flare out these pieces going into the resonator to give us a nice tight fit. And then after he's back with that, we'll get this all tacked in place there. We'll probably do a small angle here, probably 22 degrees, take a 45 and cut it a little bit, and then get ourselves through this rear sway bar, and then start getting that muffler up, or not the muffler, the blast pipe. So now I'm gonna just spin it a little bit because you have this gap between it, so we got to kind of rotate it and feather it out some. Oh yeah, much better. My last cup. Cannot break this cup. All right. Did I bring my angle finder? There's a plug. Ha! We want to cut this. Even less angle? Let me see this pipe real quick. See where it's putting this out in here. Yeah, a lot less.
You're saying so that portion will be detachable?
Yeah, so this portion will be completely dropped back. This will be your mid pipe, and then we'll make the rest of it there. But we'll get this done to there.
Yeah.
And then once we get a hanger here, we can go ahead and drop this down and let it naturally hang down.
Okay.
Then we'll get over to there. We'll start piping in from here then, because I need to get it to stop, get a flange made, put another flange on, and then start piping off of that. I need it to be straight as possible, and then come around, get underneath of that, go blast, blast, blast off. Go ahead and put that back up, like where the angle is going to be in that real quick.
How far out do you want to stick it? Do you want to stick it out to these welds, or does it tuck in more than that?
Whatever your preference is. What I'm more worried about. What would you want?
I would say about like that.
Okay. So we literally just need to add a straight piece of pipe there.
Yeah.
And then this is done. We just tack it up.
Yeah.
All right, right there. So we got everything made. Everything's tacked in position. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull everything back down. I'm gonna clean it all really good with some acetone, brush it, start purging it out, get it all welded up solid. Then we're gonna put it all back on the car again, and then we're gonna go ahead and make our exhaust hangers, and this exhaust is done. I hope you guys like it. It's been a lot of fun.
Right now the exhaust is just being supported by that lift right there and up at the front of the car with the downpipe and the turbo. So once we get the hangers on, it'll be brought up and over a little bit. So it's, you know, that's why it's hanging down so much right now. But just as it is right there, it looks so good. All that's left to do is to weld the flanges on the exhaust, mount the hangers, and we can get this thing bolted up.
So I'm getting ready to fill this thing up with some Oregon and back purge it like we did in the last video with the downpipe. Same procedure. Gonna wipe this thing down and clean it really good with some acetone so it's a nice clean surface before we start welding on it. So give me a moment and we will do that. Kyle's running up the street because, let me grab it. You guys remember the last video? I used the Streeter Script purge block. It's mainly used for T3, T4, T6 flanges for turbos, but I've modified it. You can actually use these on these. If you rotate this a certain direction, you'll actually be able to bolt this onto here without drilling and tapping into it like I did, which I shouldn't have done. But he's going to run up to O'Reilly and get me some bolts that'll actually thread into here so we can put this on there, get all the heat out of this while we're welding it so it doesn't warp. So for right now, we're just gonna cap this off with some aluminum foil, fill it up, weld this up, and by the time he gets back, we'll be able to bolt this up, weld this up. That'll be done. Get the mid pipe off, do the same thing, clean it, purge it, weld it, put it back on the car, make some hangers, and do some stuff at the front of the car. So I'm repurging this tube again. As you see, I got the block on here now. Since I took the aluminum foil off after I was done welding it, I had to reintroduce the Oregon again. Repurging it again, it's going to take about 5 or 10 minutes to get all those other admixtures out again. So as that purges, Kyle is over there smoothing out part of the pipe that protruded the actual flange just to get it flat. And when we put our gaskets on, everything's going to be nice and good. And then we're going to make some hangers and have an exhaust.
What was that?
What?
Doing some sweet karate moves?
Right now I'm adding the correct couplers that Vibrant sent over. We were missing a handful from when we did all this the first time, so get all the right stuff on here, get it all clamped down. It's looking good.
Kyle had to step out and go back to O'Reilly again to get us a step bit so we can add the O2 sensor bung into the downpipe. The rest of the exhaust is all welded up. It's all finished. It's all ready to go in the car. But before that, what we're doing here is Kyle got some stainless steel half-inch round bar, and I'm heating it up now so we can actually bend it to contour and hug the 3-inch pipe so we can make some hangers. That's it. See that bicep? Ooh. I don't lift weights, bro. We could tap it in there with the hammer.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Just clean it up.
Yep.
Wheels, but you can find center caps for every other
Oh,
wheel.
yeah. Need to tighten that down. And then we'll use this one here. We're gonna take this and grab it from this side.
Yeah.
And go up and hang, and then another one here to go up and hang. And that's gonna pull it over and bring it up to where we want it.
Okay.
So that one will lay flat right on the top here and go up, bloop.
Gotcha.
So we'll go ahead and we'll get this one first because we want to get it over and pulled up where we want it.
Yeah.
And then we can add that one, and it's done.
It's pretty money right there.
Okay.
All right, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this video. Let me give you a quick look at the exhaust before we sign off. Again, it's a full stainless steel exhaust with 3-inch piping. It's split up into 3 sections. We have the blast pipe rear section, we have the middle section with the resonator, and the downpipe. Everything looks fantastic. It's just one more step to finally having this thing back together. Just a handful of little things that need to be done. An exhaust bracket needs to be put up there, and I don't have the gaskets in since everything was just being test fitted. All right, car's back on the ground. These things are looking so cool. There's plenty of clearance. You can see it a little bit better here how the blast pipes go up at a slight angle. It's just a really unique look. The next major thing I have to do is tuck the radiator. I ordered a Chase Bays tucked radiator, which is sitting over here. The fan shroud is down there. I got a whole bunch of other Chase Bays parts and stuff too to install, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. But installing the radiator is gonna involve cutting the core support in a couple key areas, doing a little bit of welding. So Roberts is going to come out and bring a MIG welder so I can learn how to do this, practice on something that you can't really see all that much, but wish me luck. I'll be filming a piece of content on that, and of course I'll keep you guys updated on when to expect it. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like below. Once again, a big thanks to JRP Online, Vibrant Performance, and Roberts Oxygen for their support with this build and getting us taken care of with all of the parts and supplies. Also, big thanks to my man John, wherever, there he is right there, the guy with the mad welding skills. Thanks again.
Absolutely.
I just wish we could start this thing up and actually hear the exhaust, but Tali told me you were working on a really good, you had a really good impression of what it's probably going to sound like.
Oh, you guys want to hear it?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh my
and
gosh.
hopefully no booms.
Oh man.
Maybe some two-steps. Maybe we'll have some flames shooting out this exhaust. And it'll sound really good.
Oh my gosh, it's too much. I think it's time to go get some food. I think we're all a little tired.
Yeah, we're definitely hangry, guys. Very, very hangry.
Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one. If you haven't subscribed already, consider doing so. We have a lot more content where that came from. Take care, everyone.